Hi, I'm Pascal, and I have a bit of a conundrum. I have two wireless microphone sets. I really only need one. Here I have the Røde Wireless Go 2, and here I have the Ulanzi U-Mic. Now, with the help of Tristan and Redney, I'm gonna find out which one is the best. And which one isn't the best is gonna get sold.
Pascal, Tristan, and Redney.
Not really beating around the bush, are we?
Not really a point to, is there? Now, our test will be done right here in our studio, which for the record is not soundproofed in any way, shape or form. I will be wearing the Røde Wireless Go 2, while Tristan will be wearing the Ulanzi U-Mic. By the way, where is Tristan?
No, he hasn't shown up yet. I'll be using our favorite microphone for reference, which is the DD-D4 Mini. It's a shotgun mic, which is a very different beast from a wireless mic, but all of us really enjoy the sound quality it produces. And I'll be monitoring the audio from the wireless microphones with my Sennheiser HT250 linear 2s. They're old beasts, but the sound quality really agrees with me.
Everyone. So I'm taking the Ulanzi today, right? Did you shave your head? Yeah, why?
That's the question, dumbass. Why?
Well, it's better to be bald than balding, right? I think it looks good. Well, I think it looks good on you. Well done.
You look like an egg.
Well, then I think I just better change our song, right? To Pascal, Egghead and Redney.
Put some powder on it at least. It's too shiny. It's giving me a headache.
Pascal, Egghead and Headache. Don't mind him. Here's your microphone. Thanks.
You see, these wireless microphone kits, they come in two parts. One is the transmitter. It sends the signal wirelessly to a receiver. Makes sense, right? Now, the cool thing is that these transmitters, they have a microphone built in. This means you can pin it on a shirt, you can get clean audio without much effort, as you see a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers do.
Indeed, Tristan and I will be wearing our transmitters.
So each set has its own receiver. This is the Røde, and this is the Ulanzi.
Ulanzi. And for our first test, they will be connected to our trusty old Panasonic G7s. And for clarity, we'll be displaying which camera you're hearing on the left side of the screen. You guys are so organized, I could never. Okay, so let's start with similarities. Both of these transmitters transmit a 1.4 gigahertz connection, right? Yes, absolutely. This is the same frequency that Wi-Fi uses. And this has two major benefits. First of all, that it's very easy to connect. Often it works straight out of the box. And secondly, since the 2.4 gigahertz connection is free to use all over the world, you'll never run into trouble like accidentally broadcasting over an illegal, or even worse, an emergency frequency.
Army Hardy, Captain Egghead and his first mate Headache broadcasting to a police helicopter near you.
I can't believe you.
However, since this is a very commonly used frequency, you can have problems with that there's too many signals in the same area interrupting each other, especially in things like offices, inner cities, places like that.
Which is why both the Røde and the Ulanzi have a trick up their sleeve. These little microphone transmitter boxes are also recorders.
And this means that when the signal does get interrupted, you're gonna have a backup so you can still finish your project.
And this has saved my ass more than once.
Should we tell him about the weird mouth thing again?
Oh, he knows. Let's talk about the differences between the Røde and Ulanzi.
How to start recording.
So when you're using the Røde, in order to do the internal recording thing, you first need to go and connect the transmitter to the Røde Central app, either through a smartphone or through a computer. Now, in the app, you can turn on and off internal recording. So they will start recording every time the transmitter connects to the receiver.
Yeah, this can lead to huge audio files with lots of useless recording. Like, you can have a 30-minute audio file and then just try to find like the 10 seconds that you need. It's making me pull my hair out more than once.
Wait, you're bald too?
Yep.
So...
Now the benefit is that you can't really forget to turn recording on, as it's always on by default.
And for someone that's chaotic and forgetful like me, that's ideal.
No app. You just push a button and the light turns red. You're recording now. Am I? Yes, I am.
You know, I like both methods. I'm gonna give 1 Redney to each.
So why don't we switch to internal recording to see if we can hear the difference?
Great idea.
Okay, so next up, let's talk about the other differences between the two sets. Because there's huge differences between value for money.
What's in the box? So with Ulanzi, you get 2 transmitters and 1 receiver right in a little cute charging box. So the case will charge the kit on the go or in between takes and will also sync the 3 devices if the connection ever gets lost, which is mighty useful. You also get a nice soft carrying pouch, a 3.5 millimeter TRS mini jack, and a 3.5 millimeter TRS, the lightning adapter for your iPhone. It also comes with 2 windscreens in case you're recording outside, which is super nifty. And it comes with these little stickers. Guess what these are for?
Ah yeah, those are very convenient. You see, apart from clipping these little transmitters on a shirt or a skirt or a belt, you can add them to a camera via the hot shoe, or you can add them to like any kind of audio gear via the cold shoe. But the cold shoe mount of the transmitter, it's really thin. It's a lot thinner than the Rode, so it doesn't always fit right. Like it kind of falls off. So you have these little stickers that make up for the difference. So it always fits snugly. I think it's a really cool system.
That's a rather clever idea.
Oh, it is, brother. But you will need to plan your kit in advance, as you don't want to be fucking around with little stickers on location. Doesn't look too professional.
Yeah, that is very true. So Pascal, what does the Rode come with?
Well, I bought the Rode Wireless Go 2 single edition, which means that it comes with just 1 transmitter. And then it comes with a little padded baggie and a cable and 2 of these little wind muffs, which is convenient because you're always going to lose one. And of course this little padded baggie doesn't charge, but it does come with 2 USB-A to USB-C cables for the charging of the both parts.
That's it? I'm thinking that Ulanzi wins this round. Redney, add 1 point.
Yeah, but don't forget that this is a single edition versus a dual edition.
Yeah, but the Rode is still twice the price, with half the transmitters and no charging case.
Yeah, fair enough. So I'm gonna add 1 Redney for the completeness of the kit, and another Redney for price. Both go to Ulanzi.
So Redney, how are you finding the receivers?
So the Rode receiver is the same size and shape as the transmitter, which is very cute from a design perspective. The thing is, you usually mount these things on top of a camera. And if you have the camera on a tripod and it's eye level, as you often do with interviews, then you can't really see the screen from above. You know, it makes it very difficult to see your levels in your settings. And speaking of settings, it only has 3 buttons, which makes it very difficult to actually navigate through the menu and find all the settings you need. And even then, a lot of the settings can only be found in the app.
Don't tell me the Ulanzi is better at this.
No worries, the Ulanzi receiver only has 2 buttons.
Whew, thank the gods.
Just kidding, it has 3. And a touchscreen.
What?
It's not a very good touchscreen though. It's very finicky, it's a little tricky to navigate.
Whew.
But at the very least, you can access all the menu items from the device itself. And here's the real kicker. It has a headphone jack.
Whoa.
So if you have a camera without a headphone jack, like for example our Panasonic G7s, you can still monitor your audio from the receiver. Now, you can only monitor it, of course, the sound that goes up to the receiver and not the bit that goes from the receiver to the camera, but it's still a hell of a lot better not being able to monitor your audio at all.
I'll say.
It is such a useful feature, and that means I'm giving another Redney to the Ulanzi.
Ulanzi.
Wait. What about build quality?
The Ulanzi stuff is very lightweight.
Yeah, this is true, but I do feel like the Rode uses a better quality plastic. Like, I wouldn't drop either of them, but as far as build quality goes, I'm giving one Redney to Rode.
Of course, the most important is sound quality. The Ulanzi might be cheap, but if it sounds cheap, then it's no use to us.
Yes, very, very true. And while we're at it, I'm gonna give each of you another variable to contend with. I'm gonna give you a Aperture ALAV, which is my favorite lavalier mic. The lavalier mics are these little things that you pin on your shirt, like the tiny microphones that you see on TV a lot. Yeah, run it through your shirt.
Welcome to Tangled Part 2 with a very different Pascal.
And then clip it to your pants, like in real life.
Wait, this isn't real? Dude, there's only one of us. The other two are hallucinations. Which one of us is real? No idea. Alright, Redney, give us the verdict.
So, I very much like the sound of the Rode Wireless Go 2. There is a warmth to it that I think matches very nicely to our voices.
Woohoo!
Not so fast. It has very serious issues with RF interference. It's when you get the prrr, tick 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 tick. Now, I found several workarounds, but it's just annoying and I cannot rely on them professionally. I never know if it's going to show up in my recording or not.
But only if it happens with specific cameras and recorders, right?
Yeah, which includes every recorder and camera we have.
So, what about the Ulanzi?
I found the Ulanzi U-Mic to sound very clean. It's not as warm as the Rode, but there is a crispness to it that I find very, very pleasant. And there's no interference. So actually, I want to use them for wireless work. With one caveat. So the Ulanzi mics are less forgiving than the Rodes. If you adjust the microphone levels like a little bit too high or a little bit too low, you often get that they are like underpowered, overpowered, or you need to boost or lower the levels in editing. That never gives you the sound quality as when you get it correctly in recording. So when I use them, I would always recommend to monitor them with headphones. Thank God they have a headphone jack on board.
Fair enough. So, what's the tally?
2 Redneys for Rode, 5 for Ulanzi. Ulanzi wins!
So that means we're selling the Rodes. They're excellent wireless mics, just not for us. So inform yourself before you buy a pair of wireless microphones. Are they going to work for you? Are they going to work for your gear? Wow, that was a smooth video we made today. You don't know how smooth.
What?